phone to discover a new text message. You open the message, read it, and begin to reply. 2 short minutes later, you find yourself pinned in your car underneath a semi-truck trailer. While researching this topic, I learned that using the cell phone while driving, whether it be texting, talking on the phone, or searching the web, greatly exceeds the dangers of any other type of distracted driving. Today, I will tell you why you need to put the phone down while under the wheel, how to still access your phone safely while driving, and also the benefits of doing so to you and others on the road. Putting the phone down is one of the hardest things for people to do, but it needs to be done. Texting and driving is one of the main reasons people have their phone in their hands and eyes off the road. According to Jerry Cook and Randall Jones, author of the article in Traffic Injury Prevention, 3 out of 4 young adults engage in texting and driving. Texting takes a driver's attention away more frequently and longer periods of time than any other distraction of driving. On average, it takes 5 seconds to open a text message, which means if you're driving 55 miles per hour, you have traveled the full length of a football field with your eyes off the road. Just 3 years ago, one of my classmates was killed in a car accident on impact because of a text message he received on the way to one of his friends' house. Had he waited to open the text message and reply, he would have made it safely to his buddy's house and would still be with us today. Texting while driving causes over 10 teen deaths every day and is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than an impaired driver. Texting and driving is stressed today in today's society. However, talking and driving is just as bad. Have you ever jumped in your car after a long day at work or school and decided that you just needed to call your best friend and tell them all about your day? How about calling someone to pass the time while driving on a long trip? Or to keep you awake at night on the drive home? Driving while talking on the phone distracts you more than you realize. 52% of people admitted that they talk while driving on the phone in a survey conducted by Pew Research. About a month ago, I was on the phone while driving home from school and failed to stop at a stoplight. The conversation I was having on the other end distracted my concentration on the road. Thankfully, there were no accidents, but that experience changed my view of talking on the phone while driving. Talking and driving doesn't necessarily cause you to lose eye contact with the road, but it does tend to slow the reaction time of the driver. David Strayer, professor at University of Utah, states, if you give a 20-year-old a phone while driving, their reaction time is the same as a 70-year-old without using a cell phone. Talking and texting are not the only ways people use their phone while driving. People often search the web as well. Be honest, how many times have you opened Google on your cell phone while driving down the road to search for a nearby restaurant or the closest shopping center? What about looking up the phone number to a certain place or their hours of operation? Although not as statistically high as texting and talking, 17% of young adults admit to accessing the web while driving, according to the article recently stated by Cook and Jones. State Farm Insurance Agency recently said that the number of older adults webbing and driving has increased from 29% in 2009 to 48% in 2012, nearly doubling in just 3 years. Browsing the web while driving is not as common as texting or talking, however, it still leads to distraction. While we all need to put our phones out of reach and out of sight while driving, there are still ways to access your phone in a safely manner. Today, there are many ways to access your phone safely while driving, without having to take your eyes off the road or your hands off the wheel. The most popular way that people have learned to put their cell phone down is by the use of a Bluetooth device. They are so small and normally slip into your ear. You can find these devices at most electronic stores or your cellular provider. Another way to use your phone safely is by connecting it to your car stereo. Most newer model vehicles have the option to sync your phone through the radio system, so you can say voice commands to send text messages, talk on the phone, or answer an incoming call. Some vehicles do not have these syncing options, but they do have auxiliary jacks. You can use an auxiliary cord plugged into your headphone jack on your cell phone to make calls through the radio system. If you do not have access to these hands-free options, you can always pull over in a safe location to return calls, reply to text messages, or search the web. By putting the phone down, you could benefit not only yourself, but also others. Many younger people look up to the actions of their parents or older adults. Talking and texting on the phone while driving gives them the idea that it's okay. According to Ashley Hasley, editor for Washington Post, almost 65% of young people have seen their parents talking or texting behind the wheel. By putting the phone down, you can set a positive example for your kids and other young drivers. Doing so could lower the risk for future automobile accidents caused by cell phones. You could also end up saving your life as well as others, drivers and passengers on the road, by putting your phone away. In conclusion, using a cell phone while driving is dangerous and should be put to a stop. Setting your phone down while driving is the hardest part. However, there are safe alternatives to using it on the road, and the benefits are pretty substantial too. I hope you will take the information I have shared with you today and consider putting your phone down while under the wheel. Remember, just because you hear that ding doesn't mean you should turn your attention away from the road to the text message on your phone. It can wait.